Good morning from beautiful Branson, Missouri, in the center of North America, in the beautiful Ozark Mountains. I'm Matt.
I'm Eilonwy.
And we are slightly off track. We've been doing this for about 7 years, but this is the first time we've actually started recording it. We're gonna walk around this park, taking you with us, tell you all about all the things that we're riding, all the food that we're eating, and all the fun we're having.
Alright guys.
So Eilonwy, what ride did we just get off of?
We got off Outlaw Run. It's really fun. It's not the tallest rolling roller coaster. Back in 2013, it was the steepest vertical drop at like 81 degrees. Since then, that actually has been broken. I think it's by Goliath. But it's actually a really fun ride because it takes you upside down 3 times, which I'm not exactly sure how a wooden roller coaster can go upside down. But I'm trusting in the math and science because it's Alan Shelkey. But it's really fun, and you should go ride it.
We rode it 2 times so far, once in the front seat, once in the back. Which one do you prefer?
I prefer the front. I always prefer the front.
Is it more exciting in the front or the back?
Probably more exciting in the front because you can see what you're going to go through. But back in the back, you have more airtime. So depending on what you want more airtime, you sit in the back. You want to actually see everything, you sit up in front.
Outlaw Run, great ride. 2 thumbs up. So this enormous beast that you see behind us is Outlaw Run, Silver Dollar City's newest coaster from up-and-coming manufacturer Rocky Mountain Construction. They're the company behind the conversions from wood to steel on some of the famous coasters like
The New Texas Giant and Iron Rattler.
New Texas Giant and Iron Rattler down in Texas.
And they're currently working on the Mean Streak up in Cedar Point. Actually, that's Mean Streak, there's no gun in it. But they haven't confirmed, either by RMC or Cedar Point.
Yeah, they're being really sneaky about their press releases on that. We know there's something going on.
And it's not the first
They
time
haven't said
Cedar Point
anything.
did that.
But anyway, this guy right here, this is the first Rocky Mountain Construction coaster that is all wood. This isn't like the others where it's a wood structure with steel track. This is all wood, as you can see right behind us. This guy right here is one intense, insane, amazing ride. It doesn't last very long, but its short time packs a big punch.
Yep.
You drop, the first drop is almost straight down 81 degrees. It goes upwards of 65 miles per hour. It actually has 2.5 times that it goes upside down. Toward the end of the ride, it has a double barrel roll where it twists 2 times, which is insane on a wooden coaster.
I was scared to death, and then I got on and like I had no emotion in the picture. I was just not that at all.
Yep.
And the halftime is right after the first drop. There's a time where it goes up a hill and turns farther than sideways, but then flips back. So I don't know. Does that count? Maybe, maybe not. So 2.5 inversions by my count, which is something that you wouldn't think a wooden coaster can do. When we first saw this thing being built, we saw the pictures of the barrel roll and we're like, yep, right there. That's where it's going to explode into a million toothpicks. But this one right here, if we were to pick one ride at this park you have to go to, it's this one right here, right behind us, Outlaw Run. Ride it first, ride it last, ride it in the middle of the day. Just get on this thing and just keep looping on it. Hello again. Sorry, didn't mean to shake you around like that. We just had lunch at Silver Dollar City. I had a pulled pork sandwich with baked beans. Thoroughly enjoyed it.
I had chicken tenders from Texas, and I don't eat pulled pork. It's gross.
We just finished a, not quite a marathon, more like a sprint. We walked around the park, hit all 5 of the major roller coasters, just so we can cross them off our list. Favorite so far is definitely Outlaw Run, the wooden roller coaster from Rocky Mountain Construction. 3 inversions on it, including a double barrel roll. Absolutely insane ride, and I love it. For the rest of the day, we're going to be walking around doing everything else, riding the roller coasters again, of course, taking lots of pictures, get a few more video clips. So every year when we do these trips, we learn little tips and tricks to make the experience better, improve on mishaps that might occur. 5 years ago, I learned that you need to bring spare socks because when you go on water rides and your feet get wet, if you're wearing wet socks and walking in them, that'll cause blisters. That lesson I did apply today, but I just learned another one. Always wait for the sunscreen to dry before you go on the water ride. My eyeballs are burning like nobody's business because sunscreen dripped into my eyeballs. It is pain, not recommended. Always wait for the sunscreen to dry before you go on the water ride. So we just got off 2 more rides. Tell us about those.
Okay. Well, one was American Plunge. It's a lot of fun. You go through like a real dark tunnel. Kind of creepy looking sometimes. And then you go up a hill, like a lift hill, and then you just plunge. Got very, very wet. That got sunscreen in his eyes. That was hilarious. And the other one was Lost Ozark River, I guess. I don't know. That one was fun. Not really that long of a wait, like 30 minutes. A lot of people say it's long. It's not long. But you just go around in a little raft. That's it.
Did you get wet on that one too?
Yeah, but not as wet as American Plunge.
We're walking up for our second ride on Wildfire. One of the classic Bolliger and Mabillard sit-down steel coasters. You don't see a lot of that design anymore. They're usually the floorless or the wing coasters or they're inverted ones. Not very often do you see a classic sit-down train on these. Gives you a great view of the park. Does 1, 2, 3, 4 inversions, I believe. Great view. Smooth ride, very fun. This is Wildfire. The theme on this one is that an old inventor in the 1800s came up with some sort of crazy flying machine, and he made a special fuel for it called Wildfire. And this is what happens when you use too much of it. It's a floorless coaster from Bolliger and Mabillard. Goes upside down 5 times. Gives an awesome sweeping panoramic view of the park, the Ozarks. Very smooth, very fun. So we just experienced something very weird and very disappointing and annoying. We were waiting in line for Powder Keg, the launched coaster. We got all the way up to the line to the point where we were going to be on the very next train. And the train that was going right before us started to launch, went about 5 inches or so, and stopped. Now, we've been on rides at other parks that have broken down as we've been on them before. It's pretty much almost never a safety hazard to anyone involved. Nope. You just can't move. You just have to wait a little bit longer to get on the ride. The people on the ride have to get off, wait for the trains to cycle through empty, wait for maintenance to make whatever necessary adjustments are made. It's usually nothing more than just a computer glitch that requires a reboot. Turn it off, turn it on again, the old IT joke. And usually what happens, at least everywhere else we've been, is we just wait. Let the train cycle through a few times, they get everybody off the ride that was already in the trains, cycle the trains through till they make sure that the problem is fixed, let the people that were about to ride get back on, you just wait a little bit longer and then you go. This time we were instructed that every single patron of this park had to not just wait longer, but had to leave the station and leave the queue.
That's not normal.
It's very not normal.
Normally you just sit there and wait.
Yeah, like we said, normally we just wait a little bit longer right at the front of the line, just stand still, being bored for a few minutes, and that's really all that you have to do.
You can watch maintenance do what maintenance used to do.
Yeah, it's fascinating to do that. Usually it's just like a little reboot, or like at ZDTs earlier, it was all adults riding, and so it wasn't calibrated for that full amount of weight, so it would overshoot the brakes. They'd have to manually open and close the restraints. So is this a normal thing that happens at this park or other parks? Is this like a Missouri state law or something?
I don't know, but maintenance is going up.
Yeah, we just saw maintenance walking by to get up to Powder Keg. Let us know down below in the comments if you've ever been told to leave the line completely, or if your experiences are the same as ours, where you just wait in line a little bit longer. Of course, there's always more to do at amusement parks than ride roller coasters. This right here is the Electro Spin, one of Silver Dollar City's flat rides. We call these flat rides because of how they're situated. It's one unit bolted to the ground. It's not a car that travels along a long track. This thing is a spinning disc where the riders face outward, goes up and down this half pipe as it spins, going faster and farther as it goes, until it goes all the way up to the edge, where it is absolutely terrifying.
Okay, you don't want to ride it. Nobody's riding this one.
Switches directions midway through. It's terrifying, it's nauseating, and we love it. All glory to the Hypno-Toad.